What up, guys, and welcome back to Jace Chaldea, and this time we are here once again to review another season of a summer 2020 anime, and this one is one that is 4 years in the making. Of course, I am talking about, personally, one of my favorite shoujo romance series of all time, my teen romantic comedy Snafu, Season 3, Climax. So, as per usual with these season anime reviews, I will be recapping the events of all 13 episodes of my teen romantic comedy Snafu, Season 3. So if you have not seen all of Snafu Season 3, or Oregairu Season 3, whatever you want to call it, be sure to watch it. Trust me, it was worth the wait. I was completely satisfied. I absolutely loved it. And if you love this series, you owe it to yourself to finish it out. And if you have not checked this series out, all 3 seasons are up on Crunchyroll. If you love romance, if you love drama, if you enjoy a coming of age story, this is definitely the one to go to. I highly recommend it. So, without further ado, that is your spoiler warning, so let's go ahead and get into it. So, I really enjoyed the first 2 seasons of my teen romantic comedy Snafu. And, I was, like everybody else, I was like, alright, cool. I can't wait for the 3rd season. A year goes by. Okay, they probably need a little bit more source material. That's fine. We can wait another year. 2 years go by. Alright, still nothing. I wonder what's going on. Man, I don't know what's happening. 3 years go by. Oh, I guess this just isn't happening, huh? And then 4 years go by. Out of nowhere, Oregairu Season 3 Climax, the final season, is coming out. And, of course, Rona stuff happened, but it was finally here. Oh my god. Yo, I waited so long for this series that I eventually started reading the novels. Like, that's how long I waited. I was like, you know what? If they're not going to tell me what happens, I'm going to read it for myself, damn it. And I was satisfied with the conclusion, of course, in the light novels. And let me tell you, I was equally as satisfied with the conclusion provided in the anime. So, for anyone who isn't familiar with, my teen romantic comedy Snafu, basically it is about this main character, Hikigaya Hachiman. And Hikigaya, he is a loner, pretty much. He avoids all social interaction, mainly because, in middle school he was, a regular kid. He had friends, things were going well for him. But then once high school started, people started to change up and click up, and, he didn't really know how to react. And so in order to avoid the pain of rejection and, feeling ostracized, he was like, alright, if you want to do this to me, fine. I'll just put myself in a bubble. He basically, cut himself off and, turned himself into a loner, put himself into like a self-imposed exile, as it were, socially. And so he never really interacts with other people unless, he has to for like a project or something. And, due to this like prolonged, social isolation, Hikigaya kind of develops this reputation kind of as a pariah, but honestly he did that to himself. And then eventually, when he is forced to partake in club activities, he ends up joining the service club, which has 2 other members, Yuki and Yui. And basically the service club is here to basically assist other clubs or people throughout the school with any various activities or extra jobs. And, through these activities, Hikigaya not only bonds with his fellow club mates, but he learns to interact with people all throughout the school, and he learns the importance of bonds and friendship and, why everyone needs, social interaction and bonds to thrive and survive as a person, because no one really wants to be alone, and that's something Hikigaya eventually does realize. And of course we have our two main girls here, Yuki and Yui. Yui is of course the Genki girl. She's super high energy, like very popular, very bubbly, and she's pretty cool. She's pretty damn cute, and she after a while, at first she sees Hikigaya as kind of this creepy, like standoffish, almost scary type of person. But then she sees kind of the heart he has, the effort he puts into helping people, how much he actually does care for people, as he starts to peel back the layers and actually start to open up bit by bit. And she ends up developing feelings for him. And then we have Yuki, who is like the heir to a very successful, wealthy family, and so she herself aspires to follow in those footsteps and be successful. And so because of that, and because of her family environment and how her family is, she has developed this cold, detached personality. Where she's obviously polite and cordial, and she does know how to interact properly socially. Like, she knows the normal social cues and common decency and whatnot, but she herself also doesn't really know how to open up. And then when she sees someone like Hikigaya, it really frustrates her, because she sees what's wrong with herself in him, and so she calls him out on it, and that in and on itself brings out emotion in her. And as their friendship dynamic develops, you get to see it become more and more complex. Of course, a love triangle forms, but I actually was not annoyed by this one. Personally, I was definitely more of a Yuki fan myself, because I feel like, they complement each other very well. They understand each other better than anyone else on the cast. And so when it came down to it, and Yuki confessed her feelings for Hikigaya and they got together, I was like, yes! I put the book down and I was just like, oh yeah, best girl won. And then to see that animated, it put me over the moon. It was great. And I love the way it ends, because all throughout the final portion of the series, right, the thing that's like looming over like the three of them's heads is of course the end of the service club, because their teacher is transferring out, so they don't have a sponsor anymore, and Yuki's thinking about doing other things to focus on like improving her standing within the family business and whatnot. So they're like, okay, so we're gonna have to split. And so eventually we get to the end of the series, the last scene. The last scene takes place on the first day of the following year. So with this year, Hikigaya's sister ends up joining them in the high school. She's a freshman now, and so she, along with the freshman from last year who is now a sophomore, they both apply to join the service club. And since homegirl who they helped last year with prom is a part of the student council, she was able to talk to a teacher to sponsor the club, and so the service club can still be active. They now have enough members to stay around, but of course Yui does not rejoin them. However, the last scene is of course Yui showing up with a problem, and she explains, there's this guy that I really like, but it turns out he has a girlfriend, and his girlfriend turns out to be one of my best friends, and I still want to maintain that friendship. How do I solve that problem? Of course, Hikigaya, he panics, he freaks out, but then Yuki's just like, oh, no, sit. Oh, we'd be glad to help you with this problem. And it's just like, good, because I think it'll take a while. And it's a nice way to show, like, yeah, they're going to continue their friendship. They're going to continue to grow and be together even if, you know, things are a little awkward, they can get past it, because, you know, you can grow and you can, you know, mature. And I think this is what the show has been about this entire time, is maturity. Figuring out, like, kind of where you want to be in life, like, the importance of the friends you make as you grow and kind of mature into the person you eventually become as an adult. I mean, granted, we don't, like, get a time jump to see them in, like, college years or whatever, but, like, you know what I mean. Because, you know, these years, the high school years, are very important in terms of, like, you know, forming the friendships that, you know, will definitely last. I mean, honestly, most of my, like, long-lasting friendships formed way further back than that. But I totally get that sentiment. I really enjoyed seeing Hikagaya's character development all throughout. You know, of course, you know, he's not out here just, like, fully expressing his emotions. In fact, even by the end of it, he's still pretty bad, but he is learning, he's trying, he's putting in effort to make sure people know how he feels. He doesn't just shut himself off anymore. And it's really, really nice to see that, like, you know, he's putting in effort and he wants people to know that they mean the world to him. It's really great. I just to see that improvement from the very first volume and the very first episode all the way up to the end, where, you know, he's able to have that heart-to-heart with Yuki, where she's able to confess her feelings. It's so good. It's so satisfying. I felt really good about this series by the end, and I'm really glad that it was able to come back and finish off strong. So yeah, let me know, what did you guys think of my teen romantic comedy Snafu? I know I didn't go into detail about all the different waifus. I mean, there's a bunch of different girls all throughout the series. I could have talked about, you know, Kawasaki. I could have talked about, like, the trap. I could have talked about, you know, Hayato. I mean, Hayato's not a waifu. Hayato's a dude. But I could have talked about Hayato. There are so many really great side characters. Honestly, they deserve their own video. I don't know if I want to do a whole separate video on the side characters of my teen romantic comedy Snafu, but they're absolutely phenomenal as well. Of course, Hachiman's sister, you know, is pretty great. I thought, you know, his relationship with her, because, you know, she's the only person, because of their family, that he's actually able to, like, express love for and dote over and things like that. So, you know, she sees, like, how good of a person he really is, instead of this, like, facade of the Cole's loner that he puts on at school, right? So that was really cool. And, you know, once both Yui and Yuki saw how he treated his sister, they're like, oh, okay, so yeah, this is how you really are. I thought that was really nice. Overall, fantastic show. Highly recommended. I'm definitely going to go back and I'm going to rewatch the whole thing just front to back to see, like, the slow character progression just happen all at once. You know, it's going to be a fun one. Like I said, if you're into shoujo, if you're into romance, definitely go check this out. Go check the novels out. They're pretty fantastic. I'm pretty sure all of them are translated now. So go read them. I have all, I want to say it's 8 or 9 volumes. It's pretty great. Highly recommend it. But yeah, that is my teen romantic comedy Snafu. Let me know all your thoughts and feels in the comments down below. As always, don't forget to leave this video a like to let me know you enjoyed it. And if you like what I do here and you want to see more from me, be sure to hit that subscribe button and notification bell so you get notified every time I upload a new video. In the outro card, I will leave linked my last review that I did for a summer 2020 anime, which was, I believe, The Misfit of Demon King Academy. And then I will also leave linked a video YouTube Mysterious Algorithm thinks you might like, which I hope you do. But until next time, guys, this is Jay from Jay's Chaldea, and until next time, I'll catch you later. Jane minasan.